Planet Dolan.
From being born in a hay cart to grabbing a hot teacher's ass, the Planet Dolan crew reenacts some of the best true stories from our subreddit about the best lies we ever told at school that everyone believed. I'm Doopie, and today I'll be your narrator. Number 10 was submitted by Slenderman of 212. When Sweet Commando was in the 4th grade, he told his class that the potato salad served in the lunchroom was made from the remains of nuclear disaster victims, which is why it looked very white and lumpy. He even made a whole story out of it. When the Soviet Union broke up, there were many dead radioactive bodies from disasters, and they were secretly sent to the United States and kept in an underground chamber. They were then processed to resemble potatoes and sent to schools all over the United States. This was believed to be true ever since, and being a substitute teacher last year, Sweet Commando felt guilty whenever someone said, "Pass the potatoes." Number 9 was submitted by King Sultan. In middle school, Legna had a very hot teacher who had curves in all the right places. During lunch, he was in a group of friends talking about her when he decided that he would make up a lie to make him look cool. So Legna told them that he had walked into class after school and grabbed her butt for a solid 30 seconds, and she didn't even care. Everyone he told went wild. It got to a point where everyone in school knew. He became really popular because of that lie. One day, someone told the hot teacher what Legna had said about her. She asked him if he'd said that, and he told her, "Yes, I did." She just laughed and told him to sit down. The best part was, nobody ever knew it was a lie until now. Number 8 was submitted by What Up World 12. So, Honeybits' 3rd grade class had a homework assignment where they had to pick a random name of a classmate from out of a hat and write them a letter. Honeybits ended up choosing a guy who she hated because he was an annoying bully that only wanted attention. So she wrote him a nice letter, but then got mad the day before it was due because he pulled out her hair. After all the nice things, she wrote, "P.S. You are a fucking retard and should really fix that dumbass attitude of yours before someone beats the shit out of you." When he received the letter, he reported it to the teacher, who called on Honeybits. She could feel her face getting hot as she walked over with a confused look on her face. Thinking quickly, she said,
"Oh, sorry. My sister must have wrote that. We got into a fight the other day and she must have written in my stuff."
The teacher then gave her a small nod and said, "I trust what you say," and walked away. She never got in trouble for it. This is what a good reputation in front of the teachers can get you. Number 7 was submitted by Doskas. Back in high school, Mikhailem got the entire school to believe his friend, Gergak, broke the internet. It was a small school with about 120 students. 3 students were playing with some electronics and flipped the circuit breaker, turning off some of the power in the building, including the router. Gergak was usually part of the group that was involved. So, to bust his balls, when he was asked what had happened to the internet, Mikhailem blamed him. Eventually, the entire school thought it was him. People still believed it even after they graduated. Number 6 was submitted by EpiclyWeird. When Nixium was in 7th grade, he had a scar under his chin, which was almost instantly noticed. One day, his friend asked him why he had the scar. Since he didn't want them to know that his cousins pushed him down the stairs for who knows what reason, Nixium told them with a straight face,
"Yeah, my uncle did it to me. He didn't like me very much."
His friend was nosy, and so he asked why he did it to him. Nixium said,
"He never really liked me. One day as he was chopping wood, I guess I did something wrong, and so he swung at me and he broke my chin."
His friend gasped. Liking what he had done, Nixium kept going with it after a while. His friend told almost the whole school. One day, Nixium acted sad and depressed. When asked why he was so sad, he said,
"Well, you know that uncle that did this? Well, he got out of prison today, and when someone went to pick him up, he wasn't there. So they think he's coming out to find me."
All his friends got really worried, and it still goes on today. Number 5 was submitted by Valentine96 Texan. One day, Spinal Palm's teacher was collecting everyone's homework from the day before. The thing is, Spinal Palm had forgotten to do the assignment. Rather than taking the F, he lied to the teacher. When passing up the papers, Spinal Palm pretended to place his paper in the rest of the pile. Later on, when the teacher realized his paper was gone, she asked Spinal Palm if he did his homework. He said, I did. I don't know why it would disappear. He had a reputation of always handing in assignments and homework on time and without any question. Also, he was probably the most dedicated, hardworking, and honest student in class. The teacher believed his story and started questioning the people in the row about trying to sabotage him by taking his work from the pile. She gave him an A despite no one admitting the false ordeal. Number 4 was submitted by MrMiniNinja. One time in elementary school, Pringle told his friends that he was born in a hay cart because on Heritage Day, nobody knew what or where El Salvador was. So Pringle decided to have some fun and said,
"Before I moved here from El Salvador, I was born in a hay cart because my mom couldn't get to the doctors in time."
They started asking about why his mom was driving a hay cart. He said,
"We aren't that advanced yet, but soon we will be."
Pringle also lied about having asthma because of all the hay in the cart, and they believed it. Eventually, they knew he was lying about having asthma because of the hay, but to this day, they still believe everything else. Number 3 was submitted by VictoryThorn. Well, one time Ladybot created a rumor in her elementary school that there was an evil clown that lived in the tree far into the field. She had made up this rumor to keep people away from the tree because she hid some of her stuff in it. She even took off and scattered fabric from an old red sweater she had to convince people. The rumor got so bad that the school had to send a note home to all the parents stating that there was no clown. Number 2 was submitted by FoxPone3. In his freshman year of high school, Helbin had an oral fixation he would satisfy by chewing on toothpicks. One day, his mom gave him some root beer flavored toothpicks. When he brought them to school and pulled them out, people were curious about them. Being the cool and quiet one, Helbin had told them that they were made from marijuana. He called them hash picks. At first, no one believed him, but after he sold one of them to one of the dumb kids, people started asking for them. He charged $10 a pick. After a few months, his mom approached him saying that someone is selling marijuana toothpicks at school. Helbin told her the story and they both laughed at people's stupidity. Number 1 was submitted by me. When I was in school, I told everyone that I was a witch and I was actually from a far-off land called Demaria. One of my friends actually joined with me and she thought I was her long-lost sister because she had distant memories of this place. People believed me because I was actually very on point with coincidences. I mean, these coincidences were so spot on that people just had to believe me. They believed it for a very long time, and now I just look back and I cringe at myself because I was a fucking idiot. And honestly, I don't think I was lying to myself. I honestly think I believe myself, which is the worst part. Huge thanks to the folks over on our Planet Dolan subreddit for submitting their stories. We have another question for you. What was an experience you had with a scammer? Let us know in the Reddit page linked below and you might be featured in a future countdown.
This video was made possible by our fans over on Patreon. Thanks for your support, guys.
Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you soon.